Yes. Hey now, guys. I am back. Let me just shut that off. Back here with another review, guys. Finally, I have officially reached the end of Iron Man, reading Volume 7, 10 Rings to Rule the World. The rings, of course, pertain to the Mandarin. And the title itself was from issue 100, which, oddly enough, for an anniversary issue, is not double-sized at all. Yeah, just like it was like 18 pages or 20 pages, not the usual 20 or the usual 30, 40 pages, 50 pages that an anniversary should have. This is actually from the cover itself is from number 106, and I think this one was from 96, if I'm not mistaken. One of those two, but I know this is from 106. So a lot of stuff happens here. The big thing here is the return of the Mandarin, which culminates from the battle with Sunfire. Sunfire, I'm going to actually just jump ahead. The 92 to 97 weren't really all that exciting. Well, you know what? I don't know. The big thing, the big takeaway from this volume, guys, is a major battle with the Mandarin and a major battle with Midas. Midas, like Obadiah Stane and Justin Hammer, manages to steal Stark International away from Tony because Tony is unavailable to do anything about it. It's an epic battle. It's an epic 5-part storyline from 103 to 107. But I'll get to that in a second. Actually, I don't want to shortchange it. So yeah, I mean, like issue 92 is the battle with the Melter. You know, the Melter, who's just fucking corny as shit. Right, 93, 94. See, I already forgot because these stories weren't really all that important. 93 and 94, he deals with Kraken, Commander Kraken, who's normally a Submariner villain. And he actually is one of the few people who knows that Tony Stark is Iron Man at the very end. Spoiler, by the way. Commander Kraken. Melter, like I said, Melter in issue 92. We get the annual number 4, where Iron Man and the champions, Angel, Iceman, Black Widow, Hercules, Ghost Rider, and Darkstar, take on MODOK and the AIM scientists, the blue AIM guys. What am I doing? See, I'm trying to hotshot it here. I can't see jack shit without my thing. Right, he fights Ultimo. He fights the big blue dude Ultimo in issue 95. Like I said, it's not that important. It doesn't become anything until issue 98 when Sunfire shows up. Then 99 and 100, the Mandarin shows up, the Mandarin with his rings and a brand new costume. Michael O'Brien, who blamed Tony and Iron Man for the death of his brother Kevin, who was the first guardsman, decides to become guardsman himself. He steals the armor. He prepares to get revenge on Iron Man. And then lo and behold, he gets his ass saved by Iron Man. And of course, Tony reveals that Iron Man and he are the same guy. And then Michael O'Brien's like, holy fuck, I can't believe I thought you murdered my brother. Oh, I'm such a retard. And so then there's an about face. Michael O'Brien, who's the sergeant of the police with this, of course, annoying Irish accent, which I must say I did actually pretty good when I read it. So now he's an ally. He's an ally to Stark. And then, of course, when Midas steals the company from him, he helps Tony regain his company. 101 and 102 was weird. Frankenstein's monster, Frankenstein, the Baroness von Frankenstein, appears, and he fights the Dread Knight, who oddly enough was created by Doctor Doom. I assume you guys probably bought this. I mean, I don't know if anybody really is into Iron Man, but this just came out earlier this month on the 3rd of June, so you should still be able to get it, guys. I recommend you buying it, checking it out. But yeah, Dread Knight was created by Doctor Doom, and then he went mad, and then he kidnapped. So he's from Latveria. Then he comes to the Swiss Alps and kidnaps Baroness von Frankenstein, who, there's all these little dwarven mutant elves or gnomes, and Frankenstein. I don't know. It's just one of those weird, stupid stories that Bill Mantlo created. Bill Mantlo, we're still in a very, it's not a modern world, a modern storytelling. Bill Mantlo is a good enough writer, but it's still very hokey, not as bad as Stan Lee, but in the it's not up there with Don McGregor or Steve Gerber or Roger Stern. It's Bill Mantlo is a good writer, good enough writer, but he's there with Archie Goodwin, Jerry Conway, Roy Thomas, where they delve more into the fantasy and sci-fi of superheroes rather than dealing with the more modern take that Claremont and Frank Miller, all those guys, David Michelinie that we know and love, will take on in the 70s and into the 80s. So Bill Mantlo's writing, because he's pretty much the predominant writer here, I give him an A for effort, but it's more like a B minus overall. And then we have, of course, Keith Pollard. Keith Pollard has credit on the front cover, but he's pretty much here and there. He's not really. He finishes out the last couple of issues. George Tuska, I actually like his artwork. And yeah, that's pretty much it from the creative side. So the Midas storyline from 103 to 107 had a big to-do where it took Nick Fury bringing Jasper Sitwell, who goes nuts because Tony and Whitney, he was in love with Whitney and he sees them in love now. Jasper Sitwell, Captain Jean DeWolf, her brother Brian, who is also the Wraith, Eddie March, who, before there was Rhodey, there was another black dude named Eddie March, who was a boxer, and he boxed with Happy Hogan, and he helps for some reason. And Whitney Frost, who is Madame Mask, who was the leader of the Magia gang, the cartel, and now she's a good girl, but I don't trust her. I really don't trust her. And also in the background, we have Marianne Rogers, who has left the asylum because Tony is no longer paying her bill, and she wants to kill Tony. She's got telepathy. They never established that she's a mutant, oddly enough, but she is a mutant, Marianne. And she figures in big towards the end, where it ends with Midas getting his brain fried, and that's it. That's the end of the story. Abe Klein, who was, I think, Tony's teacher at one point, he was like his mentor, betrays Tony to Midas only because Midas promised him to reveal where his daughter and wife are, because they got misplaced by the Nazis during World War II. I guess they were murdered. They were sent into the Holocaust. Abe Klein was in the Holocaust. There's a brief insert of Abe in the Holocaust as a Jew, as a prisoner. And of course, Midas does him dirty. It's so terrible. Yeah, they're dead. I'll save you guys the trouble of reading it. It turns out Abe's daughter and wife are dead, and that he betrayed Tony for nothing. And he, of course, he's regretful. He regrets it. But Abe also dies as a result. Yeah, and then and Jack of Hearts. Jack of Hearts is also involved in the whole Midas thing, purely by accident. Jack of Hearts, for whatever reason, was in traffic, saw Iron Man heading to Stark International, followed him and got into a little tussle with him, and then realized, oh shit, sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to fight you, dude. I just thought, hey, I saw you and I wanted to say hello. I mean, that's basically how it is, Mantlo logic. And then he just becomes involved in the whole Midas storyline. Then from 108 had the Growing Man, who was Kang the Conqueror's little associate to take over the world. He shows up. Then 109 through 112 is a 4-part storyline that, piggybacking on the Growing Man, sends Iron Man and Jack of Hearts to outer space. Iron Man decides to take Jack of Hearts under his wing as a kid sidekick, And then they get thrown into this war between the Rigelians, the Rigelian colonizers, and the new men of Wundagore, because they end up on Iron Man ends up on Wundagore 2. No high evolutionary. There's no high evolutionary at all. Just these manimals, the new men, the Knights of the Wundagore, and they're just in a war. It was actually pretty epic, though. I actually liked the battle. See, a lot of splash pages. I should show them to you guys. Why am I not showing you the awesome splash pages? Oh yeah, and the Soviet, Vanguard, Crimson Dynamo, which is I think Dmitry Bukharin, and Darkstar, having left the Champions because the Champions book had already canceled, is now joining the Soviet super soldiers in their fight, joining Iron Man and Jack of Hearts against these alien bastards. Where is that fucking splash page? Oh my god. Yeah. No. Yeah, they get captured. It's like a whole to-do, guys. I don't know. I don't know what to show you other than, it's just a big war, a big battle scene, but then it becomes Star Wars. It's like a whole intergalactic fight, classic 70s stuff. Carmine Infantino also does some fill-in issues. A lot of, it's almost like it's Star Wars. Like it reminds me of Star Wars. There's the Ani-Men, when the animals become people, or did I say Ani-Men? I meant the new men. Oh God, yeah. Okay, you know what, guys? Read the fucking book yourselves and be impressed. I don't want to spoil it for you. Okay. That's pretty much it. And then the story ends, 113, 114 ends with the Unicorn comes back, and that leads to Jack of Hearts leaving in 113. Tony brings Unicorn to the Avengers, and then they fight Arsenal, which eventually become a big battle in the Avengers Annual 9 issue. And that's pretty much it, guys. So overall, nice set of stories here. But I cannot wait for Volume 8 to get here. I want to read David Michelinie's work, so that way we can be in the modern era where people actually talk like fucking human beings and not douchebags in a fantasy world. Like Stan Lee, Roy Thomas, Jerry Conway, Archie Goodwin, Bill Mantla, the usual suspects. I like them enough, but I really want to hear people speak. After reading 90s Iron Man, guys, reading even young Tony Stark fighting older Tony Stark was a breath of fresh air, because they actually spoke like people and not like fucking dumbasses on Star Trek. Anyway, that's that, guys. No more Iron Man. I am officially done until whatever volume comes out next. And now I will be reading Thunderbolts Volume 3, Targeted for Death. I didn't even know what the title is. But Targeted for Death. Talk about modern, guys. 1999 to 2000. So this should get me done. If I start tomorrow, I'm going to start this tomorrow. I'll probably be done on Tuesday, guys. So look out for a review on Tuesday. So that right there, guys, right here is my next book. Thunderbolts Volume 3, Targeted for Death. Kurt Busiek, Joe Casey, Fabian Nicieza, Mark Bagley, Manko, I don't know who the fuck that is, and Brayfogle, I don't know who that is. But that's that, guys. Check that out, and I hope you guys also got this too. The movie just came out. I heard it flopped. I haven't seen it. I don't really care to see any Marvel movies, guys. You know my stance on that. I'd rather read the original source than watch Hollywood bastardize our beloved heroes and villains. All right, guys. Leave your comments down below. Like, subscribe. As always, I read these epics, so you don't have to. But I do encourage you to read them, guys, because they are fucking awesome. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.